What's going on, my people, and welcome back to my page. I just wanted to say what's up, family, and welcome to this review, which I feel is very important today. I just got through watching hashtag Free Ray Sean, which was touching in so many different ways, especially with the climate that not only that we were in, but the climate that we just saw. Just less than a year ago, we saw these marches, we saw protests, we saw riots. There were many killings of Black lives, colored lives, and not to, shy away from obviously other races and other cultures and ethnicities being murdered or killed also. And my heart goes out to those also. But we're predominantly focusing on the colored aspect of those murders, especially from police officers also. Just like there aren't all bad people in this world, there aren't all bad police officers. I say that proudly because I knew many of them. Growing up, I wanted to be a police officer. And fortunately, I chose not to become one. And this review was going to be strictly a QUIBI review, which was another streaming service like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Tubi, and they had a lot of different movies on there that I just saw recently. But this particular movie, hashtag Free Ray Sean, starring Stephan James, Lawrence Fishburne, Jasmine Cephas Jones, they shine in this, Wow. I've seen many movies in my lifetime, and I continue to see movies that count, that matter to me. And starting off with, if you haven't checked out QUIBI yet, I don't know what you're doing. So many streaming services out there. This streamer has a wide variety of high quality programming at the palm of your hand. They selected 3 completely different offerings to try out from. Obviously I don't get paid by them. I'm not trying to advertise them, but this is really the only platform you can see this movie in. This is a powerful drama. Hashtag Free Ray Sean. It's a heartwarming reality series. And it has a lot of mature themes. I'm gonna start off by saying the backdrop of this series and the timing of this release is brutally humbling. This movie examines how policing in this country has become far more tactical than resolution based. The pursuit of justice is aggressive, as we all know. The enforcement is aggressive, and the response is even more aggressive as each day passes. We know this, especially those coming from those impoverished areas. Me, particularly coming from Brooklyn, moved to the Bronx about 12 years ago, started a family with my wife, and this examines that line and illustrates just how thin it is. Right or wrong, the beauty of cinema is something that always fascinated me. That's why I do these reviews. The canvas of this conversation is going to be very broad, just because this movie that I just witnessed, it offers a great idea of how the world works. As usual, these actors were phenomenal. With the little that they were given in this movie. It wasn't a perfect film by all means, but Lawrence Fishburne, this man is a national treasure. At this, moment, he should just have a plaque somewhere. He's just Black excellence. Stephan James, it's amazing. That's the main lead. Jasmine Cephas Jones is equally amazing. The little boy, man, he speaks with his eyes. He's beautiful. It's heartbreaking to see. The writing to me just sucked. They all deserved better. And to give you a little summary of this film, it's basically about a black former military veteran who you can tell is suffering from a little PTSD. He's behind the rent, so he goes ahead and in his mind he's gonna meet up with someone to make a small transaction, a drug deal, but doesn't have drugs on him at all. He notices that the undercover cop has a tattoo of a military logo and discusses with him. I was also in the military, and that scene was so very emotional for me, because in that scene everything transpired, and that scene alone takes place all around this world as I'm speaking right now. I know there's an undercover cop out there trying to get somebody for something very small, and the character played by Stephen James walks away, basically telling him, look, I don't have nothing on me, today's your lucky day, we're not gonna make a deal. Continues to go walk to his bike to go back home. No, the detective comes and basically coerces him and traps him. And things go very south, you know? Ends up killing the cop by pulling over a truck, and then, you know, beginning of the movie starts off with him on a high-speed chase. You don't know why he's being chased by the cops. All you know is that he's being chased. He gets to this building, straps the door, pats it down, tells his wife to get into the room with his son. Can't speak at the moment. So throughout this series, which is very short, it's about 10, 15 episodes, but like 7-9 minutes each. The way QUIBI does it is very unique. And for me, the epicness in this story, although lackluster, starts off. And you start to raise questions, you know? Yes, was he wrong for going and meeting up with an undercover cop to possibly make a deal for drugs? Of course. Did he fully commit? No. Were the cops wrong for enticing him and keep going at him, knowing that he was walking away? Yes. You know, that's wrong. That's what's wrong with America today. You know, you see a black man and that's all you see. You don't realize that he's former military, he's a veteran, he's struggling, has a family. You know, the themes of this movie are so broad because you're dealing with, obviously, racism, because the guys that are going after him are white cops. Obviously, since he was a former military, they don't really get into detail whether he was a sergeant or what in the military, but you can tell he has some PTSD. This story basically has a lot of police issues, social issues. There's themes of fatherhood here. What would you do for your son, for your family? Would you give your life up? Motherhood. As you can see, Jasmine's character has to give up a lot. And you can see emotionally how she has to go through all this. And has to portray herself to be a strong mother for her son, while the father seamlessly looking how to make sure they're protected. His view on things, in the short time you see him, by all means necessary, he's trying to really defend his family. There's a scene where he goes to the window to record. They start shooting, yelling, gun, gun, gun. It's really touching, especially with what we've been going through the last 400 years as a people, and especially the last couple years, you know? we continue to lose people day by day, year by year, month by month, minute by minute. And sometimes we ask ourselves, you know, when are we gonna get our just due? And I'm not saying all black victims or victims in general are innocent. But in this aspect, you see how America treats us. You know, and this, just watching this movie really touched so many different veins because, you know, all I could think about was the people we lost the past 2 years. You know, Breonna Taylor, 26 years old. Ahmaud Arbery, 25 years old. George Floyd, most recent, 47. You have Eric Garner, who was 43. Michael Brown, 18. Akai Gurley, 28. Tamir Rice, 12 years old. Freddie Gray, 25. Philando Castillo, 32. You got Stephen Clark, who's 22 years old. Tatiana Jefferson, 28. And the list goes on, man. This all started for what? Remember the George Zimmerman case with Trayvon Martin, you know? And so movies like this, in my point of view, basically just examine life in general. And, you know, it's not to be aggressive or it's just to show the policing in this country, you know? Will it ever end? You know, I have a son. That's why sometimes I get a little emotional, especially watching movies like this and watching American Skin, who I have a review on also if you want to look back at it. And it's sad, man. We need movies like this just to show us sometimes. You know, sometimes we get lost in the fictional fantasy and horror and comedy. But sometimes we need to get reality-based and start watching things like this that touch home, you know, so that we can get as a community and start to realize, man, life is short. If we worked harder, if we worked stronger together, maybe things would be more peaceful. Maybe we wouldn't look at cops the way we do today. Because the same cop you're looking at has a family. Maybe that same cop you're looking at doesn't have the view that these cops had when these cops were murdering the individuals I just named. So definitely go check this movie out. I'm not going to give you a rating. I'm not going to give you anything like that. This is just food for thought at this moment. Go and check it out. Don't want no likes. Don't want no notifications on this one. Just go check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you feel. Let me know if you want to do anything about social injustice and these police issues, these police reform. Let me know if you about that life. I'm right here. Let's start a conversation. Let's take it on. Let's get far as a people. I'm just one of thousands of millions of people who probably think the way I think. And if you think like I do, I'm all about peace. I'm all about progression. I'm all about love at the end of the day. I'm all about family. Reach out to the next one. Be safe and peace.